Blind Tom Wiggins. All sound was music. All sound was music. The story of blind Tom Wiggins. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll throw in the little one for free. He's probably not going to live anyway. In that case, sir, you have a deal. Tom lived, although he was severely autistic and blind. Stay close to me, Tom. Tom will stay close to Mama. While Tom was different, he was also special. He had a keen ear for sound. Try it again. No, you want to do it like this. I think I'm just no good. I don't think I'll ever get it. You will. It just takes significant practice. No one gets it on their first try. No, you want to do it like this. Looks like some do get it on their first try. You was doing it wrong. Tom was a natural. Specialists were baffled. Was it a miracle? He had quite a gift. They brought in more instruments to see what else he could do. Tom could master any instrument after hearing it only once. Maybe you can put him on stage. They began to put on grand performances. Audiences traveled far and wide to hear the amazing young musician. Tom was indeed gifted, but his mind was filled with so much sound that there was no room for other things. He needed help with putting on his clothes, bathing himself, and brushing his hair. When Tom played, it was as if the sound was visual. "'Tis but a little faded flower" by Frederick Enoch. "Masses in de cold, cold ground" by Stephen C. Foster. He even composed his own music. "The Rainstorm" by Tom Wiggins. Tom became one of the most famous performers of his day. When he finished playing, he would enthusiastically join in the applause. Tom was so famous that he became the first black performer to play at the White House. It seemed he had a fan in President James Buchanan. Tom was gifted with all types of sound, regaling audiences with his ability to mimic sounds and voices. He would often mimic Democratic presidential candidate Stephen Douglas. Ladies and gentlemen, I appear before you today for the purpose of discussing the leading political topics which now agitate the public mind. By an arrangement between Mr. Lincoln and myself, we are present here today for the purpose of having a joint discussion. As the representatives of the two great political parties of the state and union, upon the principles in issue between those parties and vast concourse of people, shows the deep feeling which pervades the public mind in regard to the questions dividing us. At other times, he would recite in German with perfect tone and inflection. One of his most famous compositions was the Battle of Manassas. When he played it, he included all the sounds of battle: drums rattling, muskets booming, soldiers marching. Tom didn't understand that he was being used as a tool for the Confederate cause. The war is almost over, and the South is going to lose. The slaves will soon be free. I have an idea. Tom's owner's plan was to swindle Tom's poor old mother. He presented her with a contract. The contract gave him guardianship of Tom and his earnings. Tom's family was given a pittance. From then on, Tom traveled all over the country performing, sometimes bumping into other famous people along the way. On one occasion, Tom ran into Mark Twain. Amazed by Tom's impressions, Twain would later write, "A harmless idiot to whom all sound was music, and the imitation of them an increasing delight." Tom likes trains. All aboard. Eventually, Tom's manager died. This led to a battle over who would take over Tom's career. The manager's ex-wife, Eliza, convinced Tom's family to take action. They waged a successful court case with Eliza winning guardianship. The custody fight led to Tom being billed as the last American slave. Tom was unaware of his life as a slave. When told of his importance, it never registered of his importance. Tom just wants to play music. He didn't realize that Eliza only helped so he could keep making money off of him. Tom wants to make music all the time. Tom lived in a world filled with music and was unconcerned with anything else. Tom spent his final days doing what he loved, playing music. Sadly, there are no original recordings of his concerts or compositions. We are left only with photographs and sheet music, the remnants of a life lived through sound. Nothing else mattered to Tom. To him, the world was full of beautiful noise, and all sound was music.